Hey, thanks for tuning back in. I've got another unboxing video today, another exciting game, another Kickstarter. This one again from CMON. It was actually kickstarted the week after CMON's Dune War for Arrakis pledge drive started. So I wasn't sure I was going to be able to pull this one off, but I was able to get it. So this one is large box. Cyberpunk Gangs of Night City. Cyberpunk 2077 Gangs of Night City. Based on the hit video game. We'll get this thing to the table, get it cracked open, look at all the bits and pieces, and then we'll come back here and discuss. Okay, here it is. Let's get this thing opened up here. Cyberpunk 2077 Gangs of Night City, the board game from CMON. So, this is well taped here, so I gotta be careful opening it. Don't wanna damage anything. So right off the bat, the usual styrofoam corners, get those out of the way. Very similar packing to Dune War for Arrakis. So there's a lot more in here. Get all the bubble wrap out of the way. Okay, so first off, let me move the big box out of the way. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in here, plus a small box. So let's get this going here. Move this out of the way. Let's start with the main game. Okay. So, usual large square box thing. We get the cellophane off of this. The Johnny Silverhand graphic on the back there, very cool. Because you can never have too much Keanu. Alright. There's going to be a lot to go through in this video. I'm going to try to get through it as quick as I can. I may not do every card. I may actually do separate videos for each one of the expansions. To make it a little quicker, but we'll see how it is when we actually get into the box here. So, got the rule book here, pretty standard stuff, glossy, full color, 28 pages. Yeah, 28 pages. Lots of examples and stuff at the back. Full color examples of play, very cool. Here's the board. Another very large board. This one's that's two-sided too. I wasn't even aware of that. So it's two-sided. I don't know how much you can see on my video here, but I'm not sure what the difference is in the two sides. I have not read the rules yet, so I don't know for sure if one side is for more players or one side's for solo play or what. I'll have to read the rules and find out. But nice full color board, obviously broken down by districts, just like the map in the video game. Got our Netrunner activation. That's very cool. So different levels of doing a net run. Here's the different gangs. I've got Maelstrom, Valentinos, the Voodoo Boys, Tiger Claws, and 6th Street. And each one has their own different abilities and things that make them unique, which is always very nice. Some tokens, more tokens, and of course it's CMON, so here's the box of minis. Move that out of the way for a second. There they are. Hopefully you're getting a good view of this. It's the first layer. There's 2 layers of them. This is the second layer. I think a lot of these things are the extras from the Kickstarter. I'm trying to see if I see anybody recognizable in here. the top of my head. See a couple of folks that are definitely from the game. I'm trying to see if I see Johnny Silverhand in here off the start, but I don't see him right now, but he's in here somewhere. So that's the minis. Box them back up. And then there's a lower well in here for card storage and token storage, which is always nice. We've got the different acts here. The game is broken up into different acts. So, you know, when one thing happens, it leads to another thing, and if you do it differently, then it leads to a different thing. I do know that much. So it's kind of got some storytelling to it, along with being sort of a worker placement area control game. More cards. Opportunity and retaliation here. And vehicle and other stuff too, because here's River Ward, one of the edge runners you can hire, which are like mercenaries. There's a weapon there, and then on this side it's combat cards. And then over here are more plans and stuff. These are different stories. Night City Tour, Heist Crew. The tutorial version of it, which is nice. Give you that to teach you how to play the game, along with a card that explains what the different action discs are. And moving on from the base game, we'll start to get to these expansions here. I have to clear some space. Go back to the big box here and get these other ones out. That's everything that was in there. So the other expansions that are in here are the motor pool, which obviously has to deal with vehicles. Some more edge runners. Gang wars. Just adds more gangs to it. I think it adds 3 new gangs. We'll find out in a second. Side gig. Adds more edge runners, fixers. Just kind of expands the base game already. And then Families and Outcasts expansion pack. I believe this adds more board section, kind of the outskirts, the Badlands, and then some more gangs that would be out there. So adding even more components to the game. So we'll start with that one. Since and then there's a small box here. It's Pan Am Palmer. So we'll do hers first. Oh yeah, there she is. Hopefully you can see that okay. So she gets her own mini along with the other expansion content. Probably one of the better side characters in the game. In the video game, anyway. Alright. Getting into the Families and Outcasts one here. This one has a paper sleeve on it. No idea why. It's the same thing that's on the box. Artwork is great, of course. Okay, so we got some more tokens. Got our new gangs. Got the Aldecalos and the Wraiths. Got the extra board section here to add to the main board, which gives you that border of the Badlands on top of the main game board here. Kind of reminds me of old school 3rd and 4th edition Talisman when you add the extra corners on the board. And then another set of stories and some explanation of the module components here on the back of this, as in the story here. Single player mode cards. I do appreciate a single player mode so I can learn how to play the game and teach it to everybody from there. And then more minis. I'll do a little bit more of a close-up on that so you can see them as best as possible. Okay. And moving on. Side gig here. And this one has another Act 1 setup, or Act setup, I should say. So some more story mode to the game, and explanation of the module, and then some Edge Runner cards, Wakako, and probably some others too. Well, she's a fixer though, but anyway. And then the minis, I don't think there's anything underneath here. No, there's not. So this one side gig is mostly just minis with some new Edge Runners, you know, new mercenaries you can hire, along with some new cards and a new Act setup. So again, something to kind of boost the base game, it seems. And Gang Wars here. More tokens. More gangs. So you got the mocks, animals, and scavengers. And then just a setup for the module, nothing really involved in this one. Some more cards, just a few, with explaining the mocks for single player mode, and some opportunity cards. And then again, more minis as before. The CMON always does the best with their minis and their storage solutions for them. There's never a problem with their minis banging into each other if they're painted or whatever. Each one has its own little cubby hole, which is nice. And the last one is Motor Pool. This is the one with the cars in it. I'm definitely excited about this one. I loved all the vehicles in the video game, so I can't wait to see them kind of realized in plastic here. If they're the right scale, they could probably be used for Car Wars as well, but I don't think they're going to be the right scale for that. No, they're close. Okay, so got this small vehicle market board here for when you're buying your cars. These are the car where they'll be in the market. There. And then module setup. More story cards here. More Edge Runner cards. Race districts. This has the racing aspect to the game. The street racing. Very cool. And then the minis are the cars. And one person and one robot here. Let me get into this. Oh, these are taped. Hang on. So again, the minis are pretty standard size. Minis, you know, the usual size. I don't know if it's 28 or 32 millimeter, but they're pretty standard size minis. I think they're a little bigger than the ones from Dune War for Arrakis, but very similar, if not the same. And you got a drone there. And these are the cars. These are tucked in pretty good, so I'm not going to pull each one of them out, but that's what they look like. So yeah, they wouldn't be usable with a game like Car Wars 6th edition or anything like that, because they're on this base and they're a little smaller, but they do look good. They're definitely the cars from the video game. So got a motorcycle, got the tank, got a couple of trucks, and some sport vehicles, and then of course you've got the colored bases here to show which gang owns the vehicles. So very cool. But that would be it. So that is everything. for the Cyberpunk 2077 Gangs of Night City board game Kickstarter from CMON. I'll probably do another video down the road here very soon, kind of going through all the different cards for each expansion, just so we can take a look at all the art, but I just wanted to do a quick video right now to get it up there, just to have everything unboxed. So anyway, stick around for my final thoughts and we'll wrap up. So that's Cyberpunk 2077 Gangs of Night City. Man, that one looks great. I can't wait to play it. I know I say that with every video, but if I didn't want to play the games, I wouldn't back them. I'm not sponsored yet, so I have to pay for my own games, so I only buy stuff I want to play. But this one looks great. The minis look great. I'm a sucker for all things Cyberpunk anyway. Not just the actual Cyberpunk 2077, but the genre itself. You know, Blade Runner, Shadowrun, anything like that I'm a sucker for. So this one is right up my alley. So it looks great. All the minis look great. My wife's going to kill me for having brought home another game that requires a ton of painting. So hopefully she won't leave me over that. But in the meantime, I'll still get this thing played. At some point, I'll put up a review of it, of, you know, what I think of it after we get it played. And I will let you know my thoughts on it. Anyway, until next time, thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And I'll see you on the next one. Happy gaming.